The heat is rising, especially in our cities. Urban areas are becoming hotspots, quite literally, due to a phenomenon known as the urban heat island effect. So why are cities like Phoenix sizzling, while green spaces like Singapore are finding ways to cool down? Let's dive into it. Cities tend to be several degrees hotter than their surrounding rural areas. This is due to dense infrastructure, like buildings, roads, and sidewalks, which absorb and retain heat. Materials like asphalt and concrete trap heat during the day and release it slowly at night, keeping urban areas warmer even after sunset. According to the EPA, urban areas can be 1.8 to 5.4 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than nearby rural areas during the day, and the difference can soar to 22 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Phoenix, one of the hottest cities in the US, is a classic example of the urban heat island effect. With summer temperatures often surpassing 110 degrees Fahrenheit 43 degrees Celsius, it's not just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. The city has less than 10% tree cover, making it harder to cool down naturally. Studies show that areas with more trees and vegetation can be up to 10 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than their surroundings. The lack of greenery, combined with endless concrete surfaces, makes Phoenix a furnace. In response, the city is trying to introduce cool pavements that reflect sunlight and reduce surface temperatures by up to 10 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet, the challenge remains significant, as temperatures continue to rise, putting the city's residents at risk of heat-related illnesses. The heat isn't just a comfort issue, it's a health crisis. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, extreme heat is one of the leading causes of weather-related deaths in the US, with around 700 deaths per year. In Phoenix alone, heat-related deaths reached a record high of 425 in 2022. Now, let's head over to Singapore, a city that's turning green to fight the heat. Singapore is using innovative strategies like green roofs, vertical gardens, and tree-lined streets to lower urban temperatures. More than 100 hectares of rooftop space in the city have been converted to green roofs. Studies show that green roofs can reduce indoor temperatures by up to 5 to 7 degrees Fahrenheit, lowering energy costs by 20 to 30% for cooling. The city's Park Connector network integrates green spaces into urban planning, creating a natural cooling system. This approach doesn't just reduce temperatures, it also improves air quality and biodiversity. Singapore has managed to keep its city relatively cooler, proving that urbanization doesn't have to come at the expense of the environment. It's a model that many other cities are starting to replicate. According to research, just increasing tree cover by 10% in urban areas can reduce temperatures by 2.5 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. Parks, green roofs, and urban forests serve as natural air conditioners, providing shade and releasing moisture into the air. A study from the University of Wisconsin found that residents living near parks reported feeling 5 to 7 degrees Fahrenheit cooler during heat waves. Cities like Los Angeles are taking this seriously by planting 90,000 new trees to combat urban heat. New York City has its Million Trees NYC initiative, aiming to increase urban greenery. These efforts show that it's possible to mitigate the effects of the heat island effect through strategic planning. The solution to urban heat isn't just about planting trees, it's about rethinking how we build cities. Urban planners are focusing on creating more walkable, bike-friendly, and green spaces. Strategies like using reflective materials in construction, implementing green walls, and redesigning public spaces are becoming more common. According to the International Energy Agency, sustainable urban planning could reduce the world's energy consumption for cooling by 25% by 2050. Cities are getting hotter, but they don't have to be. By learning from places like Singapore and rethinking the way we build our urban spaces, we can cool down our cities and create more livable environments. The future of urban living doesn't have to be sweltering, it can be green, sustainable, and cool.